the New York Knicks have just done one of the most unexpected things, in my opinion. Something that I really did not expect for them to actually go and do. It is now currently being reported that multiple NBA executives believe that Bradley Beal will eventually request a trade. And, the New York Knicks are keeping an eye on this situation. They are specifically one of the teams closest to watching this and would offer a package, most likely including RJ Barrett and multiple picks per Mark Berman. Now, look, I really don't like this by the New York Knicks. I do really like the fact that they could go out and get Bradley Beal, but I don't think they should go trade RJ Barrett to go out and do it. For example, a couple of these top comments really do say that the Knicks shouldn't do this at all and should build a core around Barrett, Quickly, Robinson, etc. And that's exactly really what I think they should do. I think that the Knicks could definitely go out and get some free agents here and there. When it does come to it, I mean, look, New York is a big marketplace. It's a lot of players who want to go to a New York team. We've seen that Brooklyn Nets have recently gotten, of course, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in free agency and have looked to acquire other players. They got DeAndre Jordan, of course, in free agency. They got James Harden, who also wanted to play there. Now you've got the New York Knicks, who kind of come into this conversation as they are the 7th seed in the East at the time of making this video, 13 and 15, and actually look to have a very, very nice score. For example, Julius Randle, who's 26 years of age, is playing about 37 minutes per night, getting his 23 and 11, which is very good numbers. RJ Barrett as well, who's been relatively decent this season too, who's getting his 16 minutes per game. Emmanuel Quickly, who's only 21, is getting his 12 minutes per game. And again, Mitchell Robinson's just getting his standard 8.4. I'm not really too high on Mitchell Robinson. I feel like his best spot is to potentially come off the bench. But again, right now, if I was the New York Knicks, so I would think about trying to trade for Bradley Beal, but I wouldn't overpay to do him. For example, if I was them, I would have RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, both of those players on the, and you can't trade them. We're not trading them away. They're here to stay. They're going to be on the New York Knicks for quite a while, and we don't want them gone. That's the type of mindset they should be having. And I know I might get a little bit of controversy, from saying this, but I don't rate Mitch Robinson at all, and considering the Wizards really do need a center, and, Thomas Bryant did his ACL, is going to be out for a little bit more time, I would think that they'd be interested in Mitchell Robinson, and considering he hasn't really panned out exactly how a lot of Knicks fans kind of thought he would be, I kind of think that he would be thrown in this trade conversation. If I was them, if I could get Bradley Beal for Mitch Robinson, Kevin Knox, Austin Rivers, and maybe even another young player like Frank Ntilikina, and then trade maybe 4 future first-round picks or something like that, I'd say, again, you trade that Dallas pick, trade 2 of your own seconds, maybe trade a protected second, then this still leaves you in a good situation. And what I mean by this is, you pretty much, I feel like the Wizards would actually go ahead and do this deal. And if you were the New York Knicks, let's just say they keep next year's pick, I have a feeling they might, I don't think they're going to, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I feel like the Heat, Raptors, and Hawks are probably going to jump them. Let's just say the Knicks get like the 11th pick this year. They could still take a nice, young, quality player, with that. You also got, as well, let's just say they, a player like Jalen Suggs, let's just say they somehow move up to get Jalen Suggs. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is a theoretical world we're kind of going with right now. Imagine a team that had like Jalen Suggs at point guard, RJ Barrett at small forward. You'd have, again, Bradley Beal at shooting guard, Julius Randle at power forward, and they could maybe go out and sign a very nice center here and there, like a player like Andre Drummond, and they'll probably still have enough cap to go out and try and get another star player, because Drummond's probably not going to get exactly too much. No idea who that star player would be, but they could really try and build a really nice core. Then off the bench, you could have like Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose you could try and bring back, Obi Toppin as well, who would still be there, Nerlens Noel probably. That's an absolute contender for next season, because, look, RJ Barrett, again, even with next season, he's going to take another jump. He could go up to about 18 points per game. Then let's just say they got a star that averaged about 20. You'd have literally Bradley Beal is averaging his 25 plus per game. RJ Barry's probably going to average you about 18 per game. Another star that could average you about 18 or 22 per game. Whoever that might be. Again, Julius Randle, if they do keep him, they could try and get Andre Drummond. It would be a very, very interesting team. But again, that's just a theoretical world. I don't think they're going to go out and try and do this win-now situation we've known the Knicks to try and do for a long time. I feel like they know they've got a very steady rebuild going, and they're going to take this, time by time. Like, it's going to be a little bit of time. Emmanuel Quickly, he's going to be he's going to be a jet in his career, in my opinion. I think he's going to be a backup point guard most of his career. I don't think he's really going to start because he doesn't really have exactly the most, playmaking ability. He's more of a scorer. And again, even Derrick Rose is a similar guy to that right now. Both of them will play like a double guard duo, most likely, off the bench, unless they decide to start Rose. Again, I'm not too sure. RJ Barrett's going to be even better. Julius Randle, if they do keep him, which I expect they probably will unless they trade him, which would be pretty insane considering how good he's been for them this season. Again, it's a very nice young core. You still got players like Kevin Knox, who was a very underrated player in my opinion. Like, I actually really rate Kevin Knox and his three-point range. Again, he's a trade asset. Obi Toppin, who hasn't really been what they thought he was going to be. He's still young, and he's one of those guys that he's going to develop at an older age. I mean, he's 22 right now, and I could see Obi Toppin, not being an elite player until, 25, because he's just, you watch him on the court, and he's a bit awkward. Again, it's going to take him time, but again, he's still a young player. So many of these guys still rely on the Knicks, and they have, still a bunch of first-round picks. They still have a bunch of assets. If they trade Julius Randle, which who even knows if they will at this point, they're probably going to get a first-round pick or something like that in return. They have a lot of things that they can do right now, and it's really a crazy time if you're a Knicks fan because the possibilities are endless, but I just don't think they should waste all their picks on Bradley Beal. It just doesn't make any sense. Look, the Wizards are in no rush to trade him, really, even though they're pretty bad. They've got all the time in the world, no rush to trade him. You'll have to overpay to get him anyway, so it's just not really something that I think they should potentially do. But of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think that the New York Knicks are, of course, going to, try and maybe go and trade for Bradley Beal? Or do you guys think they should just not do it? Do you guys think the Wizards should trade him? Again, I'd definitely really like to know all of your thoughts and opinions on this, down below. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to, my gaming channel, MIRO/Long Channel. And don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. All of them are in the links in the description down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.